Hi guys, so today I'm doing the director's commentary for Assignment 001. This wasn't an FMP as such, it was more of a single camera drama assignment, but I decided to do a director's commentary on this as well. As you can see, we sort of start off in 1982 with a man running through the woods, which is actually the younger hitman, and that kind of explains the whole storyline of the hitman and what the whole story is about. I came up with this idea sort of in the summer holidays around about August 2012, and I wanted it to be originally a completely silent film, which the majority of Assignment 001 is actually. The majority of it is actually a silent film, apart from conversations between the hitman and the woman. It's the majority of it is silent, which is something I've never really done before. Usually mine there's a lot of explanation and talking, so I wanted to have a go at doing a film which you had to watch to understand, and it worked out quite well actually. In terms of casting, I casted my dad as the younger hitman and my granddad as the older hitman, and admittedly it was a bit easy, but they're quite good actors, and even though they're not actually trained to be actors, because they've studied my films before, because I've been making films since 2007, they've kind of got their own, they've kind of learned how to do it, so it was kind of like, it was easier to cast, but the thing is that they're good at what they do, which is acting. They don't do it in real life, but they're good at acting. The music was by Lorne Balfe, who did the music for The Sweeney, which was released last year as well, the one with Ray Winstone in, and I also created a track myself, which was playing over the scene on the plane where the hitman's sort of thinking about what he's done in the past and what's happened with his wife and everything. In terms of what's happening here is that I wanted to keep it quite ironic, like he's reading the James Bond magazine, because it kind of is a bit of a reference to the fact that he's a hitman. Possibly you could see him as an agent as well. It's like a little cameo thing there. This is meant to be one of the build-up scenes. This I used external lighting for this from Photocell, and as well as that I used a Canon 600D with a 18 to 135mm lens. This was quite interesting to film, because obviously
Assignment 001.
well, making a film like this had to be quite, because it was going to be, because I had no idea of how it was going to look and everything. It had to be quite interesting with its shots. It wasn't going to have any colour in it, and it's sort of a bit orangey, black and white, not completely black and white. So it was a bit, I mean, apart from the orangeness, which was only really nothing much, it was, most of it was grey and black and everything like that, so I had to concentrate more on the shots rather than what the colours were around them. So if there was like a really bright colour behind one of the characters, it wouldn't matter so much, because you'd be focusing on what there is and not the colours around them. With this scene, which is coming up now, is the scene where he wakes up. This is important in the rest of the trilogy actually, because he never sleeps on the side where his wife used to sleep. It's not a massive important thing, but it's a little cameo, not a cameo thing either, it's more of a reference that I give in the future parts of this. So in Assignment 002 it's referenced to, and the first assignment it's more thoroughly referenced to.
Find and eliminate Charlie Smith.
The scenes I filmed here, which was the woman talking and the ones with the hitman in England, were filmed on, I think it was 30th of September, the end of September anyway, and all these scenes from now on, apart from the scenes of the woman talking, were all filmed over a couple of days in October half term. I think it was the ending of October, but we took a month break so I could look through what I needed to do and everything like that, because obviously we went to Malta, which was ironically a family holiday, and I didn't want to go on a family holiday, but I kind of had to because it was already booked. So I'm glad I went now, because obviously this film was made, and I think if it wasn't in Malta, I don't think it would have been as good, if I'm honest. Didn't really help with the production value, so it looked quite good. And the only thing I've annoyed about here is that in the reflection of the window you can sort of see me for a couple of seconds, like right there. And it's very, very annoying. All of these scenes we started filming immediately after we got off the plane. So like this scene here I think was filmed the next night actually, because it was like midnight when we arrived, so I just filmed the scenes of them walking around and everything. So this was the next night after dinner. Every night after dinner we'd do a few scenes which were set at night, and there was the white dot in the background is actually a castle, and we thought it would be a good idea to ad-lib some of it, because when it came down to filming in Malta I only had to take one bag, and that had my laptop and my camera in. What I realised I'd actually forgotten was the script, but because the script had not much dialogue in it anyway, I was able to remember what was said. I just had to sort of watch through the clips of what the woman had said and sort of redo the lines that my granddad was meant to say in Malta. So most of this is actually ad-libbed. I just remembered what had happened. So
Good.
yeah,
The man you're looking for
as well as
is wearing
this,
a black
in the
hoodie.
actual
He wasn't
film
going
itself,
around all the time, was he?
I have put
Yeah,
references
now look at
again
it. I'm
into
pretty
the
sure he's
into the
the only one
future
who's wearing
films,
a black hoodie.
where you can sort of see things pieced together. Like obviously at the end of this film, it's very different. It's a very different ending compared to the other two. This scene was quite difficult to film actually, because when this was filmed, there was no light whatsoever. It was all pitch black, so I had to use After Effects, and obviously I used After Effects to put the color grading on in the first place. But I used a bit more lighting on it, and it came out quite good actually. I mean, the best thing is that even though it was completely windy the whole time, there was no dialogue. So again, another good reason to have a near and on silent film. But I'm quite glad the way the nighttime scenes turned out, definitely, because I mean you can actually see. That's the thing. So yeah. The next scene that's coming up now, where the hitman chases after the hoodie, that was quite a difficult scene to film because my granddad is 70-ish now, and he gets quite dizzy from time to time. So running there really made him dizzy. So he was trying to run his hardest. I was trying to keep up. I had to stabilise it in the editing software I used, Sony Vegas, and we also forgot the props as well. Actually, we didn't actually forget them. It's because we were going abroad. We couldn't take gun props with us, so we had to sort of make it up as we went along. And again, I think it still worked. Yeah, some people have sort of criticised this bit because when he reaches the corner, the boat, there were 3 doors, and then he gives up immediately. And everyone who watched, not everyone, but some people who watched it were like, why didn't he check in those rooms? It's because he was dizzy, essentially, not just my granddad in general. The idea was that the hitman, he's old now, he can't keep up, so he knows where it is, but he's not going to go and look yet, if you know what I mean. It's kind of the idea that he's getting old, and the fact the bullets went right through him as well made a considerable difference to his mental state. So yeah, so now he's just been told that the hitman's out there somewhere. We filmed this on, I think it was the second last day we were in Malta. So we'd already been there for a week, and I've been filming these scenes, and it's been going quite well. It's really windy on that day, and it was really annoying because later on in that day when I was filming, we were going to film the final scene, which had a line in it. So it was quite annoying, but we did some ADR later. Essentially, that was my sister the whole time, dressed up as the hoodie, just standing there and looking around. Reminded me of a previous project of mine. I wanted to do a 48-hour project, but you know, this scene had to be filmed I filmed each clip twice so I could choose the best one. This one had a few specks on the lens, but I think it added to it. Now you can sort of see my granddad's arm when it comes to that, but yeah, we did ADR there, and you turn around and then it's my granddad. So it actually worked quite well, I feel, because it was quite a reveal, I think, considering that the person was called Charlie Smith, and it was like 30 years since you'd seen him, and everything like that. It felt like a really big mystery, but it really was him the whole time. It's kind of like, oh, I can see that now, because you can then, but then you sort of think, hang on, how do the people know he's wearing a black hoodie? Why, if he doesn't exist? Well, again, I've wrapped that all up in the other films. So yeah, thanks for watching this this director's commentary. I'm hoping it was some sort of good director's commentary anyway. And thanks for watching. I'll be doing another director's commentary in Assignment 002. So see you then.